Hello, welcome everybody. I'm really happy to have a more technical webcast today behind the scenes. And behind the scenes mean we have the brain behind Skybow here in our call. Matthias, we will introduce ourselves in some seconds, but I'm really glad to can explain a little bit and get explained a little bit things behind the scene of the intranet builder. The first question, as a small introduction, is why we need an additional solution for our M365 based intranet. From my perspective, the answer is really clear because I built so much intranets based on M365 and I'm really excited about the possibilities, but there are some things missing. And for instance, from my perspective, SharePoint, Teams, Viva Engage, the whole portfolio of M365 is not built for editors to make it easy to create content, to publish content, to show content. It's not so much for users to find everything exactly where it should be. There are really more simple solutions on the market, but they are not so powerful as M365. And that's why we have the question, can it be easier? And I think hopefully the answer at the end of the webcast is yes, it can be more easy. The second thing is about packaging. An intranet is an individual solution you want to use as you need it for your company. And that means that normally you want to have an automated build or in staging. You have a test environment and productive environment. You want to move things, you want to test it, and then to deploy it to the productive environment, more or less good in a good automated shape. And that's also something which is really complex in the Microsoft world. You need scripting, you need skills to do that. And we want to make it more simple. And the third aspect is then to extend your intranet. Normally, it should not be a snapshot, which do not change, but perhaps you have new locations, perhaps you have new topics you want to use. And so a good intranet should grow and change, and that has to be more smart and smooth. It's important from my perspective that you do not should need administrative or technical skills to do that. And that's the aim of the intranet builder. And when I would have to develop everything in behind to overcome these limitations, I think I would need years, and I do not think that I would have the skills to do that. So I'm really glad to have found a solution which can overcome these limitations, and that is Skybow. And you will see that you can do really great things beyond the intranet builder to get a really productive and great intranet. First of all, everybody who is building the intranet, and we name it intranet architects, who is responsible for the intranet solution. I think that's important for you to see that webcast because it will make your world really much easier based on M365. And then often the small applications are the most important in a company to raise the productivity. And that small applications are a specialty of Skybow. So when you are an application designer who want to make small, useful applications in SharePoint or in Teams, then Skybow is a perfect solution. and we will take a short look about that also. And last but not least, the administrators are really important to get an understanding. Is Skybow the right solution? Is there any dangerous or risky behind it? And so we will talk also about that. So great. And I hand over to you, Matthias, and give you some short words about your role and what you are doing at Skybow.
Thank you very much, Holger, and thanks for being here. Yeah, my name's Matthias, and I'm the Chief Product Officer, one of the founders of Skybow. Let's say the architect of the product. Yeah, and we built this product based on similar experiences because we made a lot of projects in the past where we've used SharePoint as a basis, which is really great to have documents and other stuff all in one place. But there is this complexity, and that was our goal, to have a product created for these roles we just saw before, to make it easy to build stuff based on SharePoint, but taking all the advantages of SharePoint with all like the versioning and permissions and everything what is there from SharePoint, and bring that to another level. Make it simple, and yeah. So that's why I'm excited to be here today and give you a little more insights.
Great. Thank you very, very much. Matthias is doing great webcasts and explain everything in behind. So you can take a look to it on the Skybow platform, and you will find Matthias and his colleagues in very, very many situations, and it makes sense to take a look to that if you are interested at Skybow. Some short words to me. I think founder of the Intranetbuilder is a great word. I am working with SharePoint since SharePoint is there in 2001, so almost 24 years. And so the idea was to get all experiences I made in building intranets and make it easier and more attractive from a communicator point of view or from a user perspective. That's the idea, and I hope when we are going through it, you will find it attractive and interesting to take a deeper look in it. So let's start. And so when we are taking a look later on in Skybow, we will see there are three parts or stages which Skybow is using. It's named building, it's named packaging, and it's named publishing. And that's why we choose that sections in our webcast. We start with the building section, and we will take a look what we made here in behind and explain a little bit how it is implemented using Skybow. So first of all, we jump to a short demo and show about planning content, about creating content, and then publish content or make a SharePoint page of it. So I switch my screen. And here you see the start page of that Intranetbuilder solution. So Intranetbuilder means that we hand over a pre-configured intranet. At the end, you have predefined modules, and you will get an intranet which you can use from the first day on. That's the idea behind it. Here we will jump directly in that section where we have a lot of process logic behind it. And that's the editor's corner, where you can plan and where you can create the content. What we see here is a standard SharePoint view of a Kanban board. And what you can do is you can here plan your editor work, and you can choose when you want to plan which page for which campaign. You can drag and drop the cards, and that means that the notification process now knows, okay, we have to do something new to and inform editors to work on that card here in the objective profitability and growth. And when I take a look to that card, we have our list item, a SharePoint list item, so that you can first take a look if the content you want to publish to SharePoint is in your sense. When I click to edit, then we see the prompt here in that area, and we can change it. Here we have, please generate content. We have templates of prompts. So when you have a good prompt, which is working really good, you can save it and you can reuse it or take it from that list. And here we see about creating positive workplace culture and so on. And now I can say, please update the AI content. And what will happen now? In that case, OpenAI is connected, and because of our prompt, because we set here, please add 3 ads between title, teaser, and description, and give me a title, teaser, and description. That's why we are able to get the right pieces of the response of the OpenAI, and we can attach it to title, to teaser, or to description. And now you can take a look. So we have a new title. So we click to update page name and get the title. And when we take a look to the description, then it's also changed. And you can take a look firstly if it's right, if it's wrong. You can play around with the prompts and do a lot of things. And in future, we are taking a look to use that flexibility and to change, for instance, the OpenAI host for a host which is part of the EU Act, for instance, and we can choose a little bit more. And when you say, I do not want to send my data to OpenAI, then it's possible to send it where you know the data is kept in Europe, for instance, or almost in Germany. Then you can say, create a page in behind, and in that moment, the page will be created. So we can do it because also the title has changed, and so we get another page, and you see the URL is coming back from SharePoint. I can save it. You can choose a template, and based on that template, you can say, I want to have that header and that SharePoint sections I want to use. And then the page is created with the content from that list. And so let's take a short look how it is working in behind the scenes. So it's not so complicated as it seems, but what I described in my simple words, you have a list with the campaigns. It's named here objectives, what you want to reach inside of your company. You can see what are our major aims, and all communication, or a good part of the communication, should be aligned to that objectives. And then when you create such a page, you saw in that planning section, you see that page is stored in a SharePoint list called pages. And then I clicked to update the AI prompt. When you make it the first time, it's the same. And so it gets connected to, or you are giving an AI prompt by yourself, or you choose it from a template. Then it's going to OpenAI and it's going back in the list as we saw. And at that point, as I said, please create a page. Then the Microsoft Graph is connected and a SharePoint page is created by Microsoft Graph. And the result, or you can get that information also in the templates list, that templates which are responsible for the layout of the page. So that's the story behind it. And without Skybow, I would not be able to build that solution, and I would not be able to build it in such short time, because what you see here is the action builder. And Matthias, perhaps you can say it better than I, what the action builder is.
Yeah, it's basically you can choose from a large list of actions which are executed all in a sequence, one after each other. And similar to everyone who already knows Power Automate, it's pretty much the same, but not running outside. So it's all running in your SharePoint. So that's the cool thing about it. And you can access pre-outputs from actions before, etc. It's very simple and intuitive action builder, which is placed in a lot of there are different triggers. It's not just buttons that Holger just showed us. There are also other triggers in the background, etc., where it uses the same action builder. And yeah.
Yeah. And I have to say, I'm working also a lot of with Power Automate. And no, it is not as simple, because when I'm using Power Automate, I really have to know what I'm doing. And it seems to be really simple, but at the end, it isn't. When I compare it to Skybow, Skybow is much more intuitive to use it. And I love it. You have, for every action here, you have a test button. So you can say, okay, I want to get some information out of the SharePoint Cosmos. And that's really well done, because you have all fields you want to use there in a list. You can drag and drop it, and you can use it. And then you can take a look at the end. Is there coming back the information I want to have? Or also for complex things like REST API calls, you can test it here in the development phase, and that's really, really great. So it's wonderful to work with, and I'm really sure that a normal user who is skilled for low-code solutions will not be able to use Power Automate as fast as he or she can use Skybow. There, I'm really, really sure. So, from my perspective, great job, and I did a lot with it in the last month. So, I think I can compare it really, really good. And Skybow is bringing a lot of possibilities in behind. And Matthias, what is your favorite solution or feature of the Skybow Solution Studio when you are working with it?
That was a really tough question to just say one single thing. So I have to, let's say, focus on 3 to 4 different things. First of all, this action builder is really one feature I do love as well. It's built much easier, I would say, and that's a cool thing. And the other one is the form builder. We've built a very powerful form builder, which is um, Visivik, so you can drag and drop, and it's almost the same as building a modern page. So you can add sections and fields and logic to it. So these two are the main features, and of course, when it comes to deploying, testing stuff, the whole package and publish, our packaging engine is, I think, really unique and saves me a lot of time. Um, yeah, working on solutions. And sometimes a very small one is also our document generator, which is used quite a lot. It's just a part of the action and the form. So one action is to generate a document, and this is also quite powerful. I use that also quite often in different projects. So let's stick
And
to four.
there are so many things, and I think to understand it a little bit better, what Matthias was telling us about the form builder. So the first thing I really love is that you can tell Skybow, please show that page in a fly-in, in a small, in a medium, or a large fly-in. So that what you see, that the page is coming in and you have the main page behind it, that's that fly-in functionality. And I love it as Microsoft gave the opportunities and Fluent UI to do that. But it's built in Skybo. You do not have to know how it is developed. You can use it. And then you see we have three columns here on that fly in. And that's really great to structure it. And above, you see the objective with the title, community management. You have the month between. So that's other section, like a modern page. And above that, you see a element from Skybo. That's the status bar. And that's also really great. You pick a field, a status field in that case, and then you can choose a layout of it, and everything behind is done automatically by Skybo. So when the status field is changed, and we will see that that also can be changed and will be changed within the provisioning process, then you see on that element, you see the status in a really great uh, possibility or a great visualization. And that are only some of that gimmicks. There's also a data lookup where you can nowadays also get data by graph in a really simple way. And so that's some use cases behind that form builder, which I like really, really much.
Adding tabs, adding collapsible sections. Also the buttons on top, those 6 buttons, you can easily add additional buttons, customize them.
We go further and take a look to the packaging. What is that? And there also, again, we will take a look to that demo. And in that case, I will jump directly in the Solution Studio from Skybo. The idea is you have a blank SharePoint space. And to get a little bit more life into that space, you can do a lot of things here in the Solution Studio, but completely attached to SharePoint. So, for instance, I want to create a new page when I deploy that solution. So, firstly, I create, you will see it in more details, I create an empty space in SharePoint, and then I drop that solution from Skybo above it. And everything what is defined here in the Solution Studio will be automatically deployed in that site collection in SharePoint. So for instance, different pages you want to publish here, you can use when I go to add page, and here I can create a new page. I can choose an existing page and I can change it. And I can do it really easily, and it will be packaged then. Matthias will explain us what packaging mean. And here also, I like that feature in with the documents, so I can also really easily change how the document, when you click to new document or to edit or to new edit and display, what perhaps you want to show when you want to use metadata. You can create a beautiful form view like we discussed before. So it's better for users to upload documents, for instance, and to give the metadata to it. But what I want to show you here, we have two folders, private, public, so that they are distributed automatically. And we have one document here in the public folder, rules and regulations. And it's so simple with Skybow to distribute it, because here in the background, we have the packaging options. And here you see the click the checkbox, package all items of this list as part of the solution. So easy, and that's fascinating. I do not know, Matthias, it's also for you when you use it fascinating, or you say, oh, it's so simple, it's nothing worth it.
No, no, it is. You forgot during the years working with Solution Studio, but I still know the old days when you had to do that all somehow manually using scripts, using Visual Studio, coding, and so on. But it makes it super fast. Yeah, that's our goal.
And it is too less time to explain everything in behind. We want to give you a first introduction in the possibilities about it or behind it. But what you see here are, on one hand, scheduled actions. So you can create a scheduled action and say, please take a look if the expiring date of a document has expired and archive it, or notify anyone behind it. And perhaps one or two short sentences about that, Matthias, that schedule action, how you implemented it.
Um, scheduled actions are using a job in the background, which are stored based on your configuration, let's say daily, hourly, etc. And then it will check if the time has been reached. And if yes, then it takes if you click on add, you will see you can add a filter. And it will take that filter and based on that filter, it takes all the, in that case, documents of that library, and then you can add actions that should be executed on each document, for example. So this is running with a job in the background, and the triggered actions, they technically they use webhooks. They are triggered when you add an item, update an item. So these two triggers. Then you have the context of that changed or added item, and you can also execute actions with our action builder.
And you can imagine how useful it is to have these possibilities. And I can promise you, when you want to make that using Power Automate, you will get into standard Power Automate licenses, because that what is out of the box involved in M365 is often not sufficient for that
You mean
use case.
premium? You mean premium?
Yeah, premium. Yeah,
not standard. Yeah, and
and
the good part here is it's all fully integrated. So you don't have these different tools. And also, if you do that in Power Automate, then you have for one solution, you maybe have 10 Power Automates on different lists. In Power Automate, you see one list with all the Power Automates. You have no real overview of where they are attached to. So you have to see the trigger. You have to open up the Power Automate, see the trigger, what is the triggering item, or maybe it's a schedule then as well. Where does it do something? Here we really attach it to the list. And the good thing is if you package and publish it, it will come along and it will create a separate instance automatically. If you think about Power Automate and Power Platform, you have to handle it somehow by yourself. If you have a test environment, you have to have 10 Power Automates in the test environment, which are not the same as the ones in the production environment. So you have to maintain, or you have 20 Power Automates for these two environments. That's completely different on our end. That's all just packaged automatically. It's part of the
Yeah,
solution, and it's so much
it's
easy. Yeah.
really great. And why I have that form keep open, because that's also what is fascinating of me. Uh, in behind, SharePoint is using query language. It's named Camel, and nobody understands it. It's really ridiculous. And therefore, it's so great to have that assistant, and you have it everywhere in Skybow when you want to filter some elements from a SharePoint list, for instance. You open that small wizard, and then you are guided through everything you want to do. You see here, you get listed all fields which are in that case in that document library, and you can say, I want to see the title, or I want to see the title and the idea, and you can work with it. And here you can say, I want to have folders and documents, or documents recursive, or only documents. And again, here you see, you can say, I want to filter it. And here, what I said before, you get everything which is, for instance, in your environment, in the context of your environment, and you can take it and you can use it to filter by it. So it makes it really more intuitive, more simple, and you do not have to understand what is coming out of it, because that's the camel structure, and nobody is able, I think nearly nobody is able to write it of by heart, or something like that. So that are the small things that make you really, really productive and fast, and you can do it without having so many skills like you need as a developer. The idea behind the intranet builder is to make it as easy as possible to you to extend your intranet. And what we found out is that under the line you have three different templates which we deliver to you. On one hand, you want to produce content. So, for instance, you want to write news and to inform users on based of that really powerful SharePoint pages. You want to write good stories about something, and there the content template is for. So that's a SharePoint focused template where you can publish pages for anything you want to inform about it. The second thing is you want to engage people to talk with each other and about something. And that's the communication template. Behind it's a template of an Viva Engage community. And the advantage is that when you use that Viva Engage community, you are automatically connected to the SharePoint site. So the intranet is automatically a part of the engaged community, and the engaged community is automatically a part of the intranet section. I love to use that kind of template for locations where you want to publish, hey, we are going that evening in a bar or pub or anything like that. Do you want to join us? Or we had a great event, a sports event, and it was so great, or we will do that. Do you want to join us? Everything about it, to getting in contact and to discussing. But also when you have, for instance, a major topic, more sustainability, better employee experience, that are some of the main objectives, and you want to get a better contact to your users and get feedback from it. Therefore, that communication templates are really, really useful and great. And then you have collaboration templates. That's a team site in behind. So there you create a team, you get automatically a team site, you get a pre-configured homepage, and you can start directly and again switching back and forth. Documents you store in Teams, you see in the intranet, and vice versa. And so, from my perspective, that are three templates you can use really, really good, and you do not need more and you do not need less. That's the idea about it. And we will take a look how it is functioning. But first of all, we go back to the demo. We are going to the start page of that pre-configured intranet. The admin button is only showed for people who have that admin possibilities, and that's not only to look into an Azure AD group like audience targets, but you can use much more logic behind it. And I often saw it that only the target audiences, I often do not know is this target audience or audience target, so I take both. And often people say, yeah, we do not have an AAD group for that.
And
How
it's
should
only
we?
M365 groups. You cannot use security groups. So that's why I was very limited all the time using the quick links to the target audience. So,
Yes. And here you can use function logic about the visibility, or also about is it activated or not activated. So that's really great. So I click to that button. Yes, and here we are in that administrative section, and you see again how simple it is, because here you see the different templates, and perhaps when we want to add a new location, in that case, then we say the wonderful city Zurich. And you see, we can choose here the template when we say we want to make it a collaboration template. We can give a solution prefix. Often our customers say we want to see on the URL, is it an location, is it a topic, is it a project? And so I say it is a location, and with that, I can create a site URL in behind. You see it here. And you can select language. And if you want, you can select an owner of it, which is then automatically informed and getting owner rights. And I see, oh no, collaboration template is not so perfect, and all other locations are communication templates. I drag and drop it here, and it is automatically changed without magic behind it. It's SharePoint standard, but it's a great functionality from a user perspective. So I can open that. Again, I get that great fly-in form, and so I start the provisioning. And now I get the community for Zurich was created successfully. And please click Finish Provisioning to run the site template and add Zurich to the intranet. And in behind, to show you, I switched to Viva Engage. And here we see the location Zurich is created. It's empty, clear. And when I click to the SharePoint website, then we see that we have a standard homepage and standard web page site collection from the SharePoint perspective. And so now we want to change it, and we go back to our management. So now we start the second step of our provisioning and go to finish provisioning. And here we see the pre-created site is identified, and now the Skybow solution is running. And that we want to take a look at. Here we are at Skybow in that communication template which we used. And now we see here we have a new provisioning. It's automatically done by Skybow, and Skybow is saying it's not started. And now we see it's in progress. So and now we see it is completed, and now we are switching to the location Zurich. I go back, then we will see we have the hub design. We have here the news web part. We have here some quick links. We have here our rules and regulation document I showed before. So you can see that using Skybow gives us the flexibility to predefine the start page like we want to have it, and to deploy it automatically wherever we want to use it. Not only in a new location or in a new project space or in a new topic space, but also to test it in a staging and in a, for instance, a productive environment. And the question to Matthias, what is happening behind it? And I switch directly to you. Matthias, what is the magic behind it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the technology in the background that we use is also Microsoft standard. It's the PNP packaging mechanism that we've used to package all these, let's say, artifacts. And of course, we extended it with all our logic. So the case is everything that you have configured in the build section is going to be packaged. There is an article on our website, and we will also link it in the description, which will explain all the details, what is really going to be packaged. But basically all the lists, the libraries, content types, columns, views, forms, everything from a list, the settings of a list, all the pages. We even package groups, SharePoint groups. We often use them for creating a role management, like you did as well for your administrators group. I also have an administrator group here. We can even do permission level if you have certain or custom permission levels. We can also package them. The whole navigation, links, if it's left or top navigation, stuff like that, we can package. So once you've created all your stuff in your SharePoint side, you can go to package, and creating a package is just a matter of a couple of clicks. There's a simple wizard, create a new package, give it a name, and yeah, optionally also an icon and the description, what you've done. Click next and finish. And then it takes, it depends on the content. If you have a lot of content, a lot of lists and libraries, then it takes longer. But the PNP provisioning will create one package, and this is also as well the versioning. So you have every change you're gonna do, you can make a new package, give it a new version name and some description, and yeah, this is the versioning. And last but not least, that's what you've done with the provisioning. You started the provisioning using the API approach, but there are three different approaches. So we can directly deploy it out of Solution Studio. So if someone has it in Solution Studio, then that's the case here. API is if you deploy it from outside, what you have done from a button click or without going to Solution Studio. So you would see all the sites where the solution is deployed using the API. And last but not least, there's an app deployment, which is for cross-tenant, for server. So if you want to deploy the solution on a SharePoint server, we also support that one. Or if you want to deploy the solution to Microsoft Teams, then that's all an app deployment. And yeah, as you can see, you would see different versions. So you can have the testing already in 1.5. So they are testing the newer version. Once the tests are successful, you simply select the production environment, click the same version, 1.5, update it. Again, a simple visit, next, next, and then it's updated. So the update is also checking if it can be done. Maybe someone has changed something on the target side. We will tell you. So a verification will run, and then you see the summary. What will be updated? You click next, and it's updated. We can do it cross tenant. So you see this is on a Skybow tenant. This is on a Skybow demo tenant. There are a lot of possibilities without going into too much details.
That kinds of deployments Matthias described for us, it's really, really great. For instance, yesterday I saw on a webcast from Matthias that you can use the app deployment to use the Skybow solutions from SharePoint directly in Teams. And you can deploy it as app in Teams and you can use it there. So for simple functionality you want to give your users in Teams. It's so great, great stuff. Take a look to that webcast. It's really amazing. And we see we are running out of time. We want to get your feedback, and please use YouTube comments, use LinkedIn comments to ask your questions, and then we will get a second, perhaps webcast or a short live talk about that Q&A you gave to us. So come in contact with us. We will be happy about any question. And therefore, I have to say really, really many thanks to Matthias.
Thanks, Holger, for having me in this webcast. Excited to
Yes.
see what you've built.
And thanks, Matthias, for that great work you did before so that I'm able to build it. I'm really excited. And a short call to action, how we can get started, how you can get started. We have the website intranetnomad.com where you can find any details about that tool. We have a great colleague from Matthias, David, who is the contact person. You can click to get in contact on the Intranet page, and then David will come to you, and we will see if we can make a demonstration or to explain something which is important for you and to get started about or give you the chance to validate the intranet builder. And so we are really looking forward to present it to you, and we hope that you will be as excited as we are.